Now listen, on a Tuesday we touch base with all things sort of digital and complicated, the kind of stuff that I don't know much about. That's why we talk to people like Kevin Curran, the Professor of Cybersecurity in the Ulster University. Kevin, lovely to have you on today. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mark.
Kevin, I got this, and probably half the country got this thing about Google inactive accounts. Every day we work at therefore we're updating the inactivity period for a Google account. Kevin, does this stuff matter? Am I about to lose the internet, or what's going on?
Well, it does matter because Gmail is the most popular email client in the world, 1.5 billion active users. It's almost 20 years since they launched it. So it does matter because any Gmail accounts, really, who doesn't log in within 2 years to an account, really? So therefore, and of course, that means it could be years ago, created 10, 15 years ago, really. So that means, again, that the passwords are more than likely weakened and it could be compromised because, again, and used for identity theft and for spam. So if someone's not using the account, again, so that the odds are that account is either not being used or else it's being used by someone and the owner doesn't know it as such. So therefore, it just makes the web more secure if Google can close down accounts which have not been used within 2 years.
So if I send a Gmail or use Google Drive or watch a YouTube video on my phone, I'm all right?
Yes, if you log in and you send or read an email even, of course, just click on one, use Google Drive or watch a YouTube video or, just use Google search and you're signed in at all. If you sign in within 2 years, again, it won't be developed or deleted, of course. And they're going to start this in December, but they're going to send out emails to those accounts. But of course, if people aren't logged in, they won't get them. But also, if you set up a recovery email for that account, again, the emails will come to that, which a lot of providers you do. You set up a recovery email in case you're locked out or forget your password or is compromised as well. And also, again, these older accounts won't have what we call the two-factor authentication setup, where a PIN comes to your phone, which is crucial for modern systems as well, because that means you're in control of your phone and it's less likely a hacker could ever just guess your password and log in because they have to have the PIN, which is sent to your phone. And most people don't set that up in the older accounts.
Right, so if you want to keep your Gmail and you haven't used it for a couple of years, use it before Google take it off you. Gotcha. Kevin, Apple are warning that people shouldn't leave their iPhone charging as they sleep. I do it every night. I bet you probably do as well, do you?
Oh, I do indeed, yeah. But because there's obviously a danger if you leave anything charging, really, you're not around. But the main thing they're trying to say is, don't put it under your pillow or even on the bed because you can block the vents again and these things can heat up, and also the connector as well. Sometimes if you're lying there and your connector is lying beside you, you can feel a buzz off it actually if you actually put your head onto it as well. So always put it on a flat surface, and if you're going to charge it overnight beside you, again, a lot of chargers are quite smart. They kind of turn off now, the wireless ones as well, when it reaches a certain limit as well. But just it's like anything, one of the worst things you can do is use your laptop on blankets if you're lying up in bed or whatever else, because it just blocks the vents as well and it overheats your laptop and whatever else. So again, it's always better put it onto a solid surface when you're charging.
Okay. Listen, I find this a bit funny, but let's go to the Virgin customers. They're a big player, Kevin, obviously, in Wi-Fi and all the rest. But they're basically giving you top tips for better speed on Wi-Fi, and you think, plug this and whatever. Some of it's like out of 1976. Don't keep your router in a cabinet. Don't put it in with the saucepans,
Yeah, well, actually, that's where I found the router was with my aunt's house in Donegal a few weeks ago again. But it was in a glass cabinet again. So because some people don't like these devices, they just don't see it as an ornament as well. So look at anything that blocks the signal as well. So you keep it away from objects such as TVs and wireless speakers and cordless phones as well. Ideally you would have it in the center of your house again, because, anything that gets in the way, even the human body is composed of 70% water again. So people can block it, can block the vision.
Good Lord.
Also, modern, I'm in a new house, but modern windows are excellent, because, the insulation nowadays, they have metallic strips in them. So I know if I'm at the back door and it's only about 50 feet from my router, literally my signal completely dies just by holding it behind the door, the French doors, really, that they're so good now for insulation. They have metallic. So again, the more walls in between your router, again, the more bricks, the more furniture, whatever else, that all degrades your signal as well, but other things too that people forget, because people maybe signed up for a broadband contract a few years ago, and it's like everything else, you kind of stay with the people you're with, but your router could be a few generations old. So contact your broadband provider and ask for an up-to-date router, because that will improve things dramatically. And of course, I would tell people to go into the router and update the firmware as well, because routers, again, some of them automatically update themselves, but a lot don't, especially the older ones again. So the more up-to-date your router is, the more efficient it will be.
Okay.
Yeah,
Listen, video doorbells, right? I've friends who've got them and they swear by them because the child comes home, you can see them at the door if you're not there, or if one parent's there, or one parent's away, whatever. Kevin, do they work? I don't know. Do you need one, or what's the story here?
It depends where you live, but there's some excellent ones now. You can get very cheap ones as well. But what I would recommend to anyone is to get one where you're not paying for a cloud service again. Some of these come with 1 terabyte hard disks, and it's just stored, where you're not paying a monthly subscription once you buy the camera. Again, and some of these you can get then the 6-month battery. You just take it off, the wall. They're very easy to attach. You don't have to wire them. Of course, if you got a door bell, an existing one, the wires are going to it as well. You can wire them, but a lot of these are rechargeable as well, and some of them have solar panels as well to support them. But they can give you security on your premise as well, and they're infrared as well. Most of these they work at night as well, and a lot of them, of course, have the 2-way communication now. So if someone comes to your door and presses a button, of course, you can speak to the delivery person, because so many people now are ordering online, and again, it means that you can tell them where to put your packages, whatever else. So again, the thing is, of course, that a lot of privacy campaigners again were annoyed with Nest, because Nest is owned by Google and they have the leading Ring doorbell in the world again. But police forces can't subpoena the footage as well. But so some people, and also again, if you're overlooking neighbours, it can be intrusive to that degree, depending on where your house is located. But some people don't like the fact that that they can be intrusive. But it's the one thing I don't have. I used to have an internal camera, but people would come to my house and they'd feel I was spying on them. But that was motion detection. But I don't believe in them ones, because they can be intrusive, especially because someone coming in, they feel they're being spied on. But when they're outside, really, very few people would have a problem with the camera being outside, because you are in public. Gotcha.
Kevin, as always, so much food for thought there. I really appreciate it. That's Professor Kevin Curran there from the Ulster University with the latest. Emma wasn't able to be with us this week, but Kevin there, of course, always stepping in brilliantly.